Hello friends, Eric Sanchez here with Unlock Your Potential Virtual Roadshow, coming to you from our home away from home, Ace Rivington, Santa Barbara. Thank you, Bo. Thank you, Owen, for letting us use the shop for our videos. As part of our Pittsburgh Virtual Roadshow Pittsburgh series, we have BTI, Butler Technologies Incorporated. Jamie Orlando, the Director of Marketing and Sales, and Ashley Foster, who handles digital marketing. You guys did an amazing job with the video. So I'm really not even going to get involved too much. I'm going to go ahead and let tape roll, as they say. And welcome to Butler, Pennsylvania, and Butler Technologies.
Hello and welcome to Butler, Pennsylvania, home of Butler Technologies and the birthplace of the Jeep.
Hi everyone. I'm Jamie Orlando. I'm the Director of Marketing and Sales at Butler Technology. I wanted to tell you a little bit about our company, how we got started, where we are today, and where we're going in the future. Butler Technologies was started 30 years ago in 1990 by Nadine Tripodi, who is still our CEO today. So we're celebrating our 30-year anniversary right now. We started off as a user interface company making rubber keypads, membrane switches, graphic overlays, labels for products in various markets, automotive, fire safety, medical. It's that knowledge of doing printed circuits that really started to transition and change where we are today. Membrane switches are created using a silver ink on a substrate, and that kind of led its way into the change in where we were heading. So the story of how we started moving towards wearable technology began with membrane switches. Membrane switches are circuitry that's created to interface with a product. For example, this one here goes on a medical device. There's different buttons here, but behind it, there's circuitry that's involved. We print the circuitry that goes behind this. So it's printed on thin substrates, silver inks, conductive inks. This kind of interface started to build up our engineering expertise. Eventually, that kind of led into the automotive industry, where we got into capacitive touch buttons. We were working with a couple of auto manufacturers to develop an overhead console where you press and there's no actual physical movement. You're just touching a circuit and it's looking at the capacitance of your finger and activating, say, a sunroof or a mirror or a keypad. And so that knowledge started to change what it is that we did. So the story back then was that you had silver inks, and to form those into automotive compartments, they would have to stretch. And those initial early on inks would crack, they would break. And so we worked with a lot of the ink manufacturers to develop these inks that helps stretch to fill those voids in the molding process for automotive. Well, eventually what happened is those inks took a leap forward and they became stretchable. So what you see here are silver and carbon inks that's on fabric. So we started to develop these inks as a part of the 2018 Olympic project. To tell you a little bit of the story of that, so back in 2017, we started working with ink and material supplier, along with Ralph Lauren, who produced the Olympic jackets, to develop these heaters for the Olympians. And they wanted it all US made. Butler Technologies, Butler, Pennsylvania. We're an hour north of Pittsburgh. We've been here all of our lives. Completely 100% US made, US owned. We started working with them to develop these heaters. And so we started working on the inks and working on the substrates. And so, it's through this iterative process, this design process, that we got really good at designing circuits, whether it's printed heaters or, in this case, a biometric sensor. And so these things are able to be used in clothing and garments. So obviously the heater, the printed jacket, was used in the Olympics to keep the Olympians warm. That same technology started to create these biometric sensors. So sensors that are able to detect muscle activity, reactions in the muscles, heartbeat, respiratory rate, brain waves. So these things then started to be used in medical, and sports. So the initial barriers were broken down in what we would consider sports tech. So you had these innovative groups that wanted to measure certain things for athletes. And that's what really started breaking down the barriers that allowed us to move forward. Once sports tech kind of knocked down the barriers. Med tech came in afterwards, and we started seeing medical companies and medical startups find some very interesting use for biometric sensors. One of the things that companies started to do was you can take these sensors and sense an electrical impulse from your muscle. Well, you can also reverse that and give a current out. So you can now do therapy where you're doing muscle therapy, nerve stimulation, nerve therapy. And so that's opening up a whole nother world of wearable tech.
Jamie, that was amazing. Can you share about a Butler project that you're most proud of?
One of the things I'm most proud of while working for Butler Tech was our involvement in the Olympic jacket. To put it in perspective, I was hired here in 2017. The Olympics weren't till 2018. At the time I was interviewing, we were working on that project. So we already had a good year of experience in developing the heater as we were working towards that. And you can see the energy. Our CTO interviewed me, and just the energy he had when talking about that, when I was first started here, it was palpable. So when that launched, and here I'll share with you, this is actually the US Olympic jacket. This was the closing ceremony jacket, and it's actually got the heater in it that we designed. Our company here designed and produced. So that's what this is here in the interior. This is a graphic overlay with the printed heater. The day that story came out and those Olympians came out of the tunnel wearing the jacket that we helped produce, I can't tell you the sense of pride that you have. Everybody here in the company was wearing their red, white, and blue that day, and it really became a moment of wow. You know, it not only put us on the map, but mentally as a company, we knew we had turned a corner because we spent that time, years, developing printed heaters for that moment. And I think that kind of just really sparked the change in this company. And it was really just a pride moment for me and for the company. And I think that's always going to stick in my head. We're going to take a moment and show you some clips from up on our production floor. You're going to get to see some of the screen printing process towards making these sensors. So I'm going to turn it over to Ashley so that she can tell you a little bit about the conductive printing process.
Hi everyone, I'm Ashley Foster. Here's one of our precision screen printing presses. There's a lot that happens to the project before it even gets to the press. Artwork and other design factors are designed and approved by our experienced engineering staff. Once the design is ready to go, each layer gets developed into a mesh screen. The mesh screen gets placed into the press, and then comes the inks. There's a wide variety of inks to be used. Inks are typically either solvent or UV curable. These inks can be used as a decorative design or functional printed electronics. Here we are printing some tests of conductive silver ink. Another common ink involved in PE is carbon. We have a wide variety of ink and material suppliers that specialize in creating inks and materials specifically for printed electronics. BTI also has full-scale manufacturing capabilities. Other than our graphics, engineering, and printing team, we also have finishing and assembly departments too. Here we can get your product ready for the consumer. Now we're going to go back to Jamie Orlando. He's going to talk more about some of the processes and what inspires him here at BTI.
What's inspiring to me is just seeing the variety of products. We're not selling widgets. We are building partnerships. We are actively looking for people that need help in the wearable space and can help them develop something. And I think that is what's really cool about my job. And I think that's what's really cool about Butler Technologies is we don't see the same thing every day. It's a new product, a new project, a new idea, and that's inspiring, and that's cool, and that's what really motivates us.
Jamie, with everything you've shared and that you've shown us, it's obvious BTI is more than just a screen printing shop.
We do more than just screen printing. We help design graphics. We can help design lighting systems. We have a finishing department that can laser cut your products, heat laminate, laminate to garments. We've got a complete assembly department that has a pick and place. We can place components, solder circuitry, you name it, we can help with it. We're not just screen printers, and I think that's what we enjoy, is being able to help in any area that we possibly can. I think we are very fortunate as a company to have a founder in Nadine that had the foresight to look at printed electronics and realize the future it had. She was curious about the technology and devoted people and resources to developing that expertise in-house. And I believe that market is going to be just huge over the next few years. Virtual doctor's visits and remote health care are going to be the norm in the next 2 to 3 years.
Thank you for watching our video. And remember, what inspires you inspires us.
Jamie, Ashley, Butler Technologies, thank you so much. What an amazing story. American company, American ingenuity, love it. Thank you, Owen. Thank you, Bo. Thank you, Ace Remington Santa Barbara, for letting us use your shop as our video location. Friends, thank you for watching. I hope you really enjoyed everything we presented today as part of our virtual roadshow Pittsburgh. And remember, never hesitate to use your gifts to make the world a better place. Gracias.